Welcome to my channel, Level Headed with Levi D. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and set the bell notification to all. If you currently are not getting my notifications, please turn the bell setting to none and turn back on to all. Please also share this. Let's get into it.
Don't wait up, I've been working hard every day, living dreams for a pay stub, yeah, straight up. 5 years later, like I said, I would make it on my way up. It's all love, coming from the nation, made a foundation, true stuff, yeah, too tough. We ain't giving up on our dreams, everything is ahead of us. Stay true to your path, it's not where you start, it's all where you're at. It's where you end up when your back's to the mat. Do you cripple to flat or get up off your back? Deliver these facts to see them react. The stadium's packed, they all gonna snap. The motivated attract, the escalated attack. The frustrated hit back, yeah, we move fast. I wanna change everything, I swear I'll do anything, just to get where I wanna be. I won't stop till I'm free, I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop, no, I won't let go, I won't drop, no, and I won't let go. I won't stop, no, I won't let go, I won't drop, no, and I won't let go. It's automatic, I'm always getting after it. If you ain't working, I don't understand what's happening. There's not enough time just to be imagining. You gotta take some action towards practicing. I know it's not easy, but you gotta get out there. Make your own meaning, can't afford to have doubts. They'll interrupt dreaming, I just wanna look out there. The crowd all screaming. I wanna change everything, I swear I'll do anything, just to get where I wanna be. I won't stop till I'm free, I won't stop till I'm free. I won't stop, no, I won't let go, I won't drop, no, and I won't let go. I won't stop, no, I won't let go, I won't drop, no, and I won't let go. I won't stop, no, I won't let go, I won't drop, no, and I won't let go. I won't stop, no, I won't let go, I won't drop, no, and I won't let go.
Good morning. Welcome in. Hello, Jane Justice. And I'm sorry to hear that you guys were at the mall the other day. I'm going to read your message here. Thank you, Elijah. My child and I were on the other side of the mall for his first job interview. We didn't see anything, and we were able to exit the mall. Then, big problem. What a sad day. I'm glad that you guys are safe. What a first job interview that probably was. We're going to cover the Greenwood Park Mall shooting. I'm going to start with the first police reports of the day. There is a plethora of information that has come out since. It was hard to funnel through everything. I will be showing some up-to-date stuff, who the Good Samaritan is, which is the Elisjsha. Jonathan was the shooter, and we'll get into more of that towards the end of this live. And then we'll be covering missing people's posters at the end of the live as well, to get that out there. Yes, true crime with Sunshine. Hi, I forgot you changed your name. Perfect. And I want to credit those posters to you. And I have my mods ready to drop your link. So when I do my shows, you will be recognized here on my channel with your link being dropped. Good morning, Buckeye Mama. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to go ahead and start. I know I like your new name change. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen here. All right, I know everything's going to be all over the place, and then we're going to go into like I'm trying to show how they responded and what was going on. From what I've read, it was a very, very good thing that the Good Samaritan was there.
Rescue or being given the all clear, that there are no other concerns for law enforcement or the community. That's going to take some time. This investigation is being led by the Greenwood Police Department, and all information from this point forward needs to come from the Greenwood Police Department unless we are given permission to help them provide that information. That's what we're doing right now, is we're assisting Greenwood, as this is we're all one in these times of tragedy, in these times of this seriousness type of event. You are seeing the best that public safety has to offer right now behind us. We are sickened by yet another type of incident like this in our country, in our city, over the next few days, next few hours, we hope that we'll have more information to share with you. You can try to ask me a couple questions, but I may not have the answer.
Is the shooter dead? How many guns you've recovered?
I don't know that.
Is the shooter dead?
Don't know that yet either.
Do you know anything about the ages of the victims?
I don't have any of that information.
We were told that if there's kids or family in the mall, they're going to be put on buses and driven across the street to staging your ashes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I left that out. I'm sorry. I apologize. There are a lot of people in here that need to be interviewed by detectives. The Greenwood Chain Facility on Lowe's, off of 31, is where the reunification of where Indigo is taking those witnesses over to be interviewed by detectives from both Johnson County and Greenwood.
You know if anybody's been arrested?
Don't know that yet.
You said the Lowe's where?
It's off of Lowe's Boulevard.
Lowe's Boulevard.
Give me 1 second. I'll give you the exact
Okay.
address. I'm sorry.
Can you confirm if it started in the food court?
My understanding is that it is sorry. My understanding is that it was contained to the food court area, but right now our tactical teams are going through methodically to make sure that is the case.
When you say contained
That's where it occurred. I'm sorry, I shouldn't speak in that language yet. That's where we believe that it occurred. Is over in the.
so we don't know where the shooters are at this point?
7:30. No, there is no active ongoing threat to anybody in the community. Anybody that's been involved in this is we have we know where they are.
So
It's 736 Lowe's Boulevard.
you can't confirm if the shooters were the two dead?
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I don't know if the shooter's deceased or but we're not looking for anybody right now. There's no ongoing public safety threat.
Any idea how
To
many
the public.
people have been released from the mall so far?
I don't know that number yet.
One last question.
Is there how many people went to the hospital and how many bodies are in there?
I can confirm 2 deceased right now. The rest of it is still a number that
They're still in there, or they left and went to the hospital?
There's 2 deceased on the scene.
Thank you.
Thank
All right. Jane Justice.
Try to think of,
It's been an eventful couple of weeks for you there. With everything going on, I see that's the same officer that we watched last week. Unfortunately, Jane, it's like that in a lot of places now. It's like that here as well. There's a Maryville mall here that has shootings frequently as well. It's sad, to say the least. But Yeah, so that was at the beginning when this is first started all happening. So that was the very first report that I saw of a police officer coming out and speaking. I am grabbing the next one here. All right, here comes the next one. Sorry, my browser window I had to close on me, so I had to reopen it. This is going to be reshare this here.
So in, Chief of Police for the Greenwood Police Department.
All right, Chief, what's your situation?
I'm sorry?
ISON as in Nancy or M as in Mary?
N as in Nancy.
Okay, Chief, what's your situation?
At approximately 6:05 tonight, Johnson County 911 Center took multiple calls of an active shooter in the food court of the Greenwood Park Mall. Multiple agencies have responded and are still on the scene, assisting Greenwood Police, the FBI, ATF, Greenwood Police Department, Johnson County Sheriff's Department, Indianapolis Police Department, State Police Department, Department of Homeland Security, Greenwood Fire Department, Marion County Sheriff's Department, and Indianapolis Fire Department are some of those agencies. As you can imagine, this type of situation is horrible. It's rocked us to our core. We're still very early in this investigation. What we do know right now is that we have what appears to be one shooter. It looks to be an adult male. We have not identified him yet. We do not have a motive yet. It appears that he had a rifle with several magazines of ammunition, entered the food court, and began shooting. We have 5 victims. 4 have been confirmed deceased, and 2 are at Eskenazi Hospital with wounds, and we do not have an update on their condition at this time. I'm going to do another update in about an hour. I hope to have a little bit more on the conditions of the other 2 victims.
Is the shooter dead?
The shooter is deceased.
So
How is he deceased?
We believe at this time investigators are still questioning the individual involved, but it appears that a good Samaritan that was armed observed the shooting in progress and shot the shooter.
Chief, first of all, you said you had 5 victims but 4 DOA. Does that mean you've got 5 wounded victims?
No, we have 6 total, including the shooter. 4, including the shooter, are deceased. So 3 victims are deceased. The shooter is deceased. 2 other victims are at Eskenazi Hospital.
And before you said you had 1 shooter, but I think what you meant is you've got 1 shooter down and then the shooter who took him down. So you've got 2 shooters?
We have 1 shooter responsible for the incident and 1 good Samaritan who shot the person responsible.
do you know what kind of gun it was?
It appears to be a long gun. I do not know what type of long gun.
So how many weapons have you recovered?
We haven't recovered any yet.
Chief, just for clarification again, sir, so you have 3 dead, sir?
We have 4 dead, including the shooter. To answer your question, tactical teams are still in the mall clearing. The mall is very big. It takes a lot of time to clear every store, every inch of that large facility. We will not start processing that scene until that is done. We also have a backpack that was left in the bathroom. We don't know who it belongs to. It was suspicious, so the Johnson County and State Police bomb squads are in there now dealing with that package. Once the scene has been determined to be safe, investigators and crime scene personnel will in and start processing the
What
scene.
level of cooperation are you getting from what you called the Good Samaritan?
He appears to be cooperating fully.
What kind of gun did he use?
I don't have that information right now.
Size? Is it like a handgun or?
The shooter or the Good Samaritan?
Good Samaritan.
I believe it was a handgun.
When you say the backpack was suspicious, just by his presence there, or is there something to indicate that it might be explosive?
Well, there was a backpack laying in the bathroom outside of the food court that was unattended. So given the circumstances, it's suspicious.
You mentioned it was a long gun. Did anybody see him walk in with that long gun? Did he go back out to the parking lot, or?
I don't have that information at this time.
Did you mention if there are people still in the mall? Like, are there still people inside, trapped?
No.
Okay.
Everyone has been evacuated from the mall.
You said multiple rounds or magazines. Do you have any more about how much ammunition he had with him?
Not at this time, no.
How many shots were fired?
I don't know.
Chief, the people who were evacuated, did they go out on those two buses we saw?
No. The buses were protocol. They weren't needed.
Okay. At this point, do witnesses give you an indication of what started this?
No.
Okay.
At this time, I'm going to stop this interview. I will be back in 1 hour. And at that time, I will try to have more specific information for you. But right now, that is all that I know. Okay.
All right, so that was just a little bit after that other police officer, the IMPD, which would be the Indianapolis Police Department, was the first guy. This was Greenwood's police department giving a statement there. I will bring up the next one, which was a couple hours after this last briefing here. Give me a second and I'll bring that one up. I have to say IMPD, their news is on point when it comes to them explaining situations going around in their city and suburbs. All right, I will join this one here.
Okay. As promised, the 9:30 update. First of all, I would like to say and send out our heartfelt condolences to the victims' family in this tragedy. Like I said earlier, this has shaken us to our core. This isn't something that we have seen here in Greenwood before. It is absolutely horrendous, and our thoughts and prayers are with those loved ones hurting tonight. We have just a quick update. I don't have a lot of additional details at this time. We have cleared the backpack. I'm not going to go into detail with the contents that were found in the backpack. That's still being processed. There was no explosive device, which was our primary concern in a situation like this. The EOD has cleared that. Our SWAT teams from the Indiana State Police, the Greenwood Police Department, and the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department have finished their clearing of all the stores and corridors in the mall. We are confident that there are no additional threats at this time. At this point, the Greenwood Police Department, Johnson County Sheriff's Department, and FBI's evidence collection teams are just now beginning the process of entering the crime scene to process for evidence and get more answers to this senseless tragedy. With that, that's all the information that I have tonight. I will give another update tomorrow. We are going to have a press conference at the Greenwood Police Department at 2 p.m.
Chief, how long will this mall be a crime scene? In other words, will the mall open tomorrow as usual, or are you asking Simon Mall Properties to allow you how many more hours to do your job?
Well, the short and simple answer is it will take as long as it takes. I expect we will be here until the early morning hours tonight. Earlier, I was asked if the mall will be open tomorrow. I don't have that answer. That will have to come from Simon Properties.
What are witnesses telling your detectives about how this jumped off?
Right now, I'm not willing to release any details of the investigation as it is so early. We're still putting the pieces together.
Chief, this has become a national epidemic. Now it's Greenwood, Indiana. Can you just put this in context? As you've seen police departments across the country responding to these mass shootings, whether in schools and buildings, offices. Now that it's here, now that you're dealing with it, and your officers are coming face to face with this, how do you process something like this?
Well, we train for it. Matter of fact, a few years back, we had one of the largest coordinated exercises with the FBI and other local metropolitan area agencies for this exact situation. We have done multiple mall exercises with local law enforcement for active shooters. We train annually. Our officers responded the way they should have, very quickly, and I'm extremely proud of the law enforcement response, not only from the Greenwood Police Department, but as you can see behind me, the multi-jurisdictional cooperation that we have. I mean, it was so fast. LEOs reporting, self-reporting from home when they heard about it. IMPD SWAT team members were here just as quick as ours were. It was a very, very fast response. But I'm going to tell you, the real hero of the day is the citizen that was lawfully carrying a firearm in that food court and was able to stop this shooter almost as soon as he began.
What can you tell us about him? I'm sure if you want to tell us his name, that'd be great. But I'm sure
I can tell you that he's a 22-year-old male from Bartholomew County, and that is all that I can release at this time.
What can you tell us about the victims and whether or not they were targeted or they were hit by stray bullets?
At this point, I just don't know. I don't have a motive yet, and as that comes out, we will share it. But right now, I don't have that information.
Can you break down males, females?
Yes, it looks like we have the shooter was a male. We have one male victim and 4 female victims.
And how many of those were deceased and how many of those are wounded?
3 victims were deceased and 2 were wounded.
And that breakdown, is it males, females in the hospital, males, females deceased? Can you break that down?
Not at this time. No, I want to get that right, and I can't at this time.
Do you have an age range on these victims, Chief?
Yes, between 30 and early 20s.
Chief, there's a big debate in our state right now regarding permitless carry, concealed weapons, guns. I'm not asking you to chime in.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that right now.
And I'm not asking you to. But
are you able to say anything about what happened before this incident occurred? Like, was there an exchange, or was it just a random guy just shooting?
Once again, details. We have viewed some surveillance video. I'm not going to release any details. This is still very early, and it's still an active, ongoing investigation.
Do you have any update on the victims that were taken to the hospital? Are they in stable condition? Are they critical?
Yes, the last I heard, we had 1 unstable, well, 2 unstable. I will add the last press conference, I did state that there were no juveniles. I later found out there was 1. She was a 12-year-old female. She had a very minor wound, somewhat of a scratch, I'm being told, on her back. She went home, told her parents, and they called us and we responded. She was transported to the hospital for a checkout. She is expected to be just fine.
Chief, your hometown got
admitted?
What?
The other 2 that you said were stable, have they been admitted?
She is one of them that was stable. The other one, I do not know if they have been admitted. They are still at the hospital.
4 girls and 1 boy?
Yes.
Your hometown guy. This mall is nestled in a neighborhood. What do you want the people of Greenwood to know as they watch all of these images unfold? And tomorrow morning when they wake up and you may still be here, what do you want your citizens to know about the situation?
Just that, we are doing the best we can right now. They have the best in their federal law enforcement and local law enforcement and state law enforcement officials here trying to get answers and make sense of what happened. Like I said, this is still very early in that process. And I want people to feel safe in Greenwood. I'm very proud of our officers. We strive in having a very a safe city and low violent crime rate. And like I said, this is just something that has shocked us to our core tonight. And our hearts are go out to all the victims' families.
Have you identified the original shooter?
Press conference tomorrow morning.
Have you identified the original shooter?
Thank you.
All right. For the first time this happening to them there in Greenwood, this officer or chief, whatever he is over here at Greenwood Police Department, did a very good job. I wanted to bring this up. They've been using old shut down schools, malls, warehouses, hospitals for years for active shooter practices. I did see, I'm going to take this off the screen. I'm going to show you what I did see. I'm glad that you brought that up, Jane, because on their page here on IMPD's page, on their Facebook page, they brought up on, hold on here, I think it's July 12th. They just did a practice. Let's see here. So that's the 16th. I believe it's the 16th that they did it. Hold on, or the 12th. The 12th, they did an active. They did one in the school where they had an active shooter practice, which is very good for a department like that. The other thing here is the Department of Homeland Security was on every corner for miles with huge weapons. SWAT was everywhere, especially at Polo Run, apartments, and the mall. There was a tank on 31st. They were prepared for not necessarily this situation, but for something happening. That is very good on the police and the whole Indianapolis area to be ready to go. We will get. I did see an interview on the young lady that did get struck into the back. I will be playing that here in a little bit. So we will get back to. Hold on here 1 second. If you watch the evacuation, you'll see that everyone under 21 has their hands up and they're calm. Our kids trained for this religiously. They do that here once a week for active shooters. Hello, Where the Wind Blows, for active shooters in grade school. That's awesome. Just glad that for once Ellie was prepared and acted quickly and on point. Yes, indeed, Arctic. I'm trying to bring up photos here real quick. Hold on 1 second here. All right, this is from the Indianapolis Star. We're gonna bring this up here. So here you got FBI was on scene. So you got FBI agents here. You have photographers, special agents. Here you have the fire department. These are some very, very good pictures here. If you haven't seen them, I suggest to go take a look. Here's ATF is present. We'll get to this interview here in just a second. You got the bomb squad because of the backpack that was left in the Wilson Dallas. Hello, good morning. The bomb squad was called in because of the backpack that was left in the bathroom. Here you have paramedics and staff and more police. Here's them huddling to figure out what to do and making a game plan. Here's Indiana State Police. Some more Indiana State Police. There's a Greenwood police officer. Here's some sort of a detective or a special agent of some sort or undercover. It might be ATF. I don't know. And then here's the buses that they took to take the kids out. And then we're back to here. But we're going to play this. We're going to play this video here. One second. Hold on 1 second. I think it's frozen. Bear with me 1 second. This is weird. It won't play the video, but hold on here. I'm going to try it this way and see if it plays it.
I left them, my kids and wife at the food court, and I just heard probably 20 rounds going off. I thought it was a joke. I thought something was going on, so I see everybody.
Yeah, the first one we thought was an intercom because it was the thing.
We just thought it was a game or something until we seen everybody running. And well, like they said, they seen a body on the ground when they took off. My wife got separated from my two other kids. I couldn't get a hold of my son and my other daughter. I couldn't get a hold of them. My wife didn't know where he was at. It was just insane, man. It was a scary talk. And it sounded like a big gun, too. And
it was back to back to back. It wasn't just boom, boom. No, it was boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, like something repeatedly. And the semi-automatic, it sounded like 20 rounds at least.
Me and my dad were in the middle of the mall, like the booths that are in the middle. We were getting a hoodie made for me, and because I really wanted one, and it was about to close. And then we just hear gunshots, and I just see people running our way, and we we hurry up and run, and then we duck down behind a booth, and then we see,
they locked the doors. And one of the
one of the stores one of the stores was shutting down, so we hurry up and ran in there.
Yeah, it was something like a massacre. It seemed like you watch flip on the news and see. I've never been in nothing like that. I've never.
So there's that one. That was released like right after everything was happening. Let me see what else I got here. They've been updating this article the whole time. I'll come back to it. I want to go to the Greenwood Police Department's press conference interview here, and then hold on one second. My computer doesn't like me right now. So yeah, that was eyewitness of what was happening there. All right, here we go. This will start here in just a minute. This is the press conference that they were doing.
You got it. Standing by.
Why don't you bring them along so they can establish a perimeter and keep the signing people away from this? Would be that what they needed. Hey, by the way, thanks for the heads up on the sign.
They're walking out. They're walking out now. They're walking out now, Megan. They're walking out now. Here we go.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Myers. I'm the mayor of Greenwood. Thank you for being here today. Today's not an easy day for the city of Greenwood. Today is very tough. It's been a hard night for our police officers, our firefighters, everyone else involved here today. And I want to thank all those departments for their assistance. Before Chief Isom gets up, I have a few comments I'd like to make. I'll not be able to say anything that's already been said by so many other sites of these mass shootings here in America. I don't want to be among the mayors that has to share these statements, but sadly I am. I grieve for these senseless killings, and I ache for the scars that are left behind on the victims in our community. And as we stand here in shock, I'm proud of my first responders who instantaneously responded to the scene. The men and women of the Greenwood Police Department, the Greenwood Fire Department, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, the ATF, and other departments as well. We want to thank them for their assistance in this operation last night. Also, we have the faith community to show its support to the mental health experts, the Red Cross, and government leaders at all levels. We've been contacted by our state, our federal, and even from the White House, offering their condolences and their assistance for anything we need. Thank all of those who did that, who've reached out to us and who are reaching out to our people to support us. And also, we're very thankful for a young 22-year-old man who stopped this violent act. This young man, Greenwood's good Samaritan, acted within seconds, stopping the shooter and saving countless lives. Our city, our community, and our state is grateful for his heroism in this situation. Chief Eisen will give you some information on him in a few minutes. He's a young man processing a lot. I ask that you give him space and time to be able to process what he's gone through last night. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Eisen.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. First and foremost, I want to offer the condolences on behalf of all of the law enforcement agencies involved in this incident last night to the families of our victims. This is a senseless tragedy and our hearts are broken with yours. I first want to start by introducing some of the individuals standing behind me. This was a collaborative effort from many agencies. I have been involved over the course of my career in multiple multi-agency, both federal, state, and local training efforts and active shooter trainings, many of them at the Greenwood Park Mall. We work out the problems in those trainings so that when it counts like it did last night, we have all of these agencies coming together just like they did, working seamlessly, working together for a common purpose, everybody knowing their role. And last night was a true testament that training pays off. Behind me, I have Herb Stapleton, Special Agent in charge of the Indianapolis FBI. Daryl McCormick, Agent in charge of the ATF. Josh Watson, Lieutenant from the Indiana State Police. Commander Ron Hicks from IMPD. Sheriff Dwayne Burgess from the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. Fireman Chad Tatman from the Greenwood Fire Department, and Coroner Mike Pruitt. That being said, I'm going to turn this over to the coroner for just a moment so that he can talk to you more about the victims. Then I will get back up and give you some specifics on what we know about the shooter, the Good Samaritan, and the events that occurred last night. Coroner.
Thank you, Chief. Johnson County Coroner Michael Pruitt. We have identified 4 decedents following the incident last night at the Greenwood Park Mall. We have been working jointly with the Marion County Coroner's Office because 2 of those individuals were transported to Indianapolis hospitals, one of those to Eskenazi and the other one to St. Francis, and then 2 of those remained at the mall. The Marion County Coroner's Office is handling the autopsies and the investigations of 2 of the individuals, and we are handling 2 at our facility. Identify the 4 individuals. I'll go down the list here. I will put these out for proper spelling, so I will get those out to everybody. I've already sent some of those out, but I will get those out. So the first individual that we identified, this individual was at the mall, and we are handling this investigation, Jonathan Douglas Sapirman. I want to say that correctly, Sapirman. Okay, he's age 20 of Greenwood. The next individual, Pedro Pineda, age 56, of Indianapolis, and we are handling that investigation. The next individual, Rosa Miriam Rivera de Pineda, age 37. She is the wife of Pedro, so they are a married couple. That investigation is being handled by the Marion County Coroner's Office. And the last individual is Victor Gomez, age 30, of Indianapolis, and that individual is being handled by the Marion County Coroner's Office also. All will be receiving medical examinations that are scheduled for tomorrow.
Thank you, Coroner. Okay, as the coroner just said, Jonathan Sapirman, age 20, of Greenwood, is our shooting suspect. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. He is 20 years old. He has a juvenile record and no criminal history as an adult. His past incidents with the Greenwood Police Department include minor offenses as a juvenile, such as a fight at school and being a juvenile runaway. He does not drive. We believe that he walked to the Greenwood Park Mall last night. We were told by family members that he typically walks or Ubers to wherever he needs to go. We know the ATF, their specialty is weapons. As soon as we got in and started processing the crime scene last night, the ATF took the serial number information and immediately began the process of tracking down when and where those guns were purchased. If you have questions from the ATF representative here, once I'm done, he will be available to answer more specifics. However, the weapon used by Mr. Sapirman last night was a Sig Sauer model 400M 5.56 caliber weapon, rifle. It was purchased on March 8th, 2022 here in Greenwood. The second weapon recovered, this was in the bathroom, was a M&P 15 5.56 rifle. It was purchased on March 9th, 2021 from a gun store here in Greenwood. Mr. Sapirman also had on his person a Glock 33 357 caliber pistol. The only weapon used by Mr. Sapirman last night was the Sig Sauer Model 400M rifle. He had multiple magazines.
I don't know what I did. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. Hold on here one second. It froze on me. I guess what I'll do is I will back this back up and let it play through since it won't let me pause it. Oh, there we go. All right. So what I wanted to talk about is he had multiple guns on him. He had one gun that he actually got to use. He had another gun that was on him, and that is the shooter had that on him. There's very good details within this press conference, very thorough as well. So I just wanted to stop it there and comment for a second, and I will be playing it again right now.
A warehouse position at that location for the past 2 years. He has been practicing shooting at Range USA. The ATF has made contact with Range USA and received records from them that show that he was frequently using their range and purchasing ammunition at that location for the past 2 years. We know that he recently resigned from a warehouse position back in May, and we have not confirmed yet. Detectives are serving a subpoena as we speak to Polo Run apartment complex to find out if he in fact was being evicted. We were told by family members that they believed he had received an eviction notice. That has not been confirmed at this time. We did locate a cell phone belonging to Mr. Sapperman and a toilet in the stall in the bathroom. We believe he placed it there prior to exiting the restroom to begin his shooting spree. The following is a timeline of events. We know that Mr. Sapperman, through surveillance video, entered the mall at entrance 4 by the food court at 4:54 p.m. He walks directly to the food court restroom. 1 hour and 2 minutes later, he exits the restroom and shoots Victor Gomez outside of the restroom. He then points his rifle into the food court where Pedro and Rosa Pineda were eating dinner and shot both Rosa and Pedro. He then fired several more rounds into the food court, striking a 22-year-old female who is currently recovering from a leg wound at Eskenazi Hospital, and a bullet fragment believed to have ricocheted off of a wall did strike a 12-year-old female who was running towards exit 4 in the back. There was a minor wound treated at the hospital. They did remove a small piece of metal jacket, most likely from a ricochet. At 5:57 p.m., the shooter was confronted by our Good Samaritan, who I will identify in just a moment. The Good Samaritan was armed with a pistol and engaged the shooter as he stood outside the restroom area firing into the food court. The shooter fired several rounds, striking the suspect. The suspect attempted to retreat back into the restroom and fell to the ground after being shot. We recovered 24 .223 rifle rounds shot by the suspect and 10 handgun rounds fired by the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan, once again, he has authorized us to release his name. He is requesting you give him time to process and grieve himself before reaching out to him. His name is Elisjsha Dicken, and that is spelled Elisjsha, and he resides in Seymour, Indiana. He was at the mall last night with his girlfriend shopping. One last thing that I would like to get help from the media is there were several personal property items left behind. When you have an incident like this, it's complete chaos. People left shopping bags, they left cell phones, wallets, a lot of personal property. We have recovered that personal property and is currently being entered into our property room. Tomorrow, anyone who is missing a personal item left behind can come to the Greenwood Police Training Center located at 736 Lowe's Boulevard between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. There will be officers there to assist them in getting their personal property back. We ask them to bring a form of identification so that we can positively identify the person we're giving the property to. At this time, I will open it up for questions. Yes. It's Jonathan Sapirman, and it is spelled Jonathan Sapirman.
Chief, can you tell us about the Good Samaritan? Even though there's not a gun permit in Indiana, what was the status of his permit and his level of cooperation with your investigators?
We could not find that he had a permit. He was carrying legally under the constitutional carry law.
What kind of firearm did he have?
He had a Glock handgun, I believe.
One other question. You identified originally the state as
.556.
You also said 223. Are those the same?
Okay, 0.556. Yes, they're very similar. They shoot 223 rounds also.
So how should we identify this?
0.556.
Okay, Chief, can you tell us about the conversation between your detectives and your Good Samaritan, what he expressed to them? And he obviously, this has been a difficult situation for him. You explain how he explained to you he went through this process.
Well, I personally didn't speak to him. I did watch the video, the surveillance video, which captured pretty much the entire incident. I will say his actions were nothing short of heroic. He engaged the gunman from quite a distance with a handgun, was very proficient in that, very tactically sound. And as he moved to close in on the suspect, he was also motioning for people to exit behind him. He has, to our knowledge, he has no police training and no military background.
As you watched that tape, were you able to explain to yourself what would have happened if this man had been, let's say, at J.C. Penney at the other end of the mall instead of right there? How much worse would this have been?
At that time of night on a Sunday, I couldn't speculate. I don't know. I don't know how many people were in that area of the mall.
Chief, you talked that training paid off. As you trained before with other agencies, can you, without giving away the trade secrets, explain how you were able to coordinate with your fellow law enforcement to respond and reach a successful situation?
Sure. So in an incident like this, when an active shooter situation goes out, there's several. First thing that happens is officers from other agencies here at dispatch, officers at home get pages, officers in the area that may be off duty in their vehicles with radios on, all hear it, and they automatically expedite to the scene. So we have a lot of self-reporting LEOs that may not be on duty from other agencies. Basically, everybody runs to help, which is great, but it can also be chaotic and cause problems if it's unorganized. So the first thing that we have to do is create staging points for self-reporting LEOs and assign a supervisor to that staging point to monitor who's coming in and keep track of where people are. The second is to establish an incident command and a unified command with all agencies that are responding. So all of the individuals you see behind me were the head of their agencies on the scene. We all met at one location, and there was one point of contact via radio traffic between dispatch and commanders that were responsible for specific, had specific responsibilities within inside the mall, whether it be clearing, whether it be fire, rescue, SWAT team members, bomb squad members. So it all comes through a central point of command with everyone you see behind me at the command center. We also obviously have to prepare for media, have to prepare for people that are looking for loved ones, reunification sites for those who don't know where their loved ones are to gather. So we immediately established that at our training center and got that out on social media and within the media for family members to report there. And then you just start processing as the incident commander for the agency within the jurisdiction. The first thing I did was call for the FBI. This is something that they are very well versed in, and they have both the manpower and the resources necessary. I knew we were going to need that. Because there were firearms available, this was an active or involved. This was an active shooter incident. The ATF, they have resources, just as I explained earlier. They can track down where weapons were bought and when they were bought and histories very, very quickly, much faster than we can. So you just start pooling resources and getting organized, and pretty much everything else falls into place. We treat the wounded, evacuate the mall, set up perimeters, and once everything's clear, you move in to begin your investigation. And the investigations go further out. They go, once we identify the shooter, then we have to get search warrants for the shooter's house, and we move to the house. So it's very methodical, very slow, but everyone did exactly what they were supposed to last night.
Have you found anything in terms of motive yet, or did the shooter have any connection to the mall beyond being a resident that you're aware of?
No.
Did he leave any sort of indication? Did anybody in his circle fear this was coming, or was there any note or any phone message left behind?
No, the FBI forensic team has his cell phone. It was wet. They're going through the process of drying it out to try to extract information from it. Right now, we have no motive. His family members that we spoke to, they were just as surprised as everyone else was. They said there were no indicators that he was violent or unstable.
Did you find any?
None at this time, no.
You mentioned the videotape, the surveillance videotape. Will that be released, and if so, when?
No, it is much too graphic.
Do you know how many people were in the food court at the time? Dozens or just spread out?
I think dozens would be accurate.
Chief, can you go through this timeline? It looks like this all happened by the time you started shooting to the time you were sitting down, a minute, 2 minutes?
Yeah, so like I said, the most puzzling piece of this puzzle is the fact that he was in that restroom for an hour and 2 minutes. We believe, and we don't want to speculate, but we believe he was getting ready. He had a waistband holster on with several magazines. He had a backpack that had the second assault or second rifle broken down in it so that it would fit in there. Several rounds of ammunition. So we think that he was kind of preparing for his actions during that hour and 2 minutes. And then, as you can see, once he came out and started shooting, it was 2 minutes by the time the first shot was fired until he was neutralized by our Good Samaritan.
Anything recovered outside of the mall that pertains to this investigation you're able to talk about at this point?
No.
Chief, when you got to the scene, when you encountered the Good Samaritan at the scene, was he escorted out, taken into custody? Do you have to identify who this person actually was and that he wasn't the actual shooter?
Correct. Yes, he was handcuffed. His gun was collected. We took him back to the Greenwood Police Department where detectives interviewed him, confirmed his statements. Once we were able to view the video, his statements correlated with the video. And
when you encountered him, can you tell us about that? I mean, did he drop the gun? Was he standing with his hands up? How do you know him from a second shooter?
yeah, and that's always a concern. That's always a concern because he was in civilian clothes with shorts and a t-shirt on. So he cooperated fully when officers arrived. He actually approached mall security and told them that he was the one that neutralized the shooter and waited for all the officers' arrival.
Do you?
Not at this time. We'll know more after toxicology results are returned from the autopsy.
Did the alleged shooter live alone or with his family?
I'm sorry?
Did the alleged shooter live with his family?
He lived alone.
Did you clothes in the bathroom too, or change of clothes?
I'm not aware.
Was anyone with the husband and wife who were killed? Did they have any kids or any family members or anyone with them?
Not to my knowledge.
Chief, the two 5.56 rifles, they were purchased legally. Were they purchased by the suspect? Or?
Yes. Yes. Are there any other questions for any of the professionals standing behind me?
What were the first 911 calls that came from this?
Okay, the first 911 calls were of an active shooter in the food court of the mall. That brings up a very good point. The Johnson County 911 Center is set up. If they get overwhelmed, if there's too many calls coming in for them to answer, if all lines are busy, those 911 calls are routed to the Bartholomew County 911 Center. So the Bartholomew County 911 Center received, I talked to Sheriff Myers this morning, and he said they received about 50 calls. So they were trying to decipher, and the sheriff sent his deputies to the mall to assist us with clearing it. So Bartholomew County also played a very pivotal role in this.
Was there any evidence that the shooter and the Good Samaritan exchange, or that the shooter shot at the Good Samaritan?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Was there any evidence that the shooter had any history of mental illness or mental health treatment?
Not to my knowledge.
You mentioned the subpoena to search the Polo Run apartment. Is there something you guys?
Oh, we did search the apartment last night. The subpoena is to get his rental records. It's not something they would release to us verbally without a subpoena, but we have been told by family members that he had received an eviction notice. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We did. Yes, we found when the SWAT team went in to clear it, the oven was on high temperature and had a laptop within the oven and a can of butane. I don't want to speculate what his intentions were, whether it could have been to cause a fire or to damage the laptop, but we did retrieve the laptop, and that is going to go to Quantico to be analyzed. It's been damaged due to the heat in the oven.
The last time we saw a heating source, something here was a Southside explosion in Richmond Hill, if you recall, a number of years ago. Just trying to copy that.
It would be speculation. I don't know what his intention was. It does appear that he placed his cell phone in the toilet, in the water, and the laptop in the oven. So we are very curious to have those analyzed. Right now, they're going to, the phone is in possession of the FBI, and the laptop is going to be sent to Quantico.
Do you think it's good to have citizens like the Good Samaritan out there to stop shooters?
I will answer that this way. Many more people would have died last night if not for a responsible armed citizen that took action very quickly within the first 2 minutes of this shooting.
Chief, a question for the FBI. Sir, Special Agent, does this gentleman fit the profile? Folks spend a lot of time investigating these shootings coast to coast. In this case here in Greenwood, this gentleman, based on what you know currently, because that's what I learned, does he fit the profile?
Excuse me.
Pardon me. If the question is inartful, just want to figure out, is this the kind of guy that would do this?
No, I understand the question. What I would say to that is there really is no one profile. It would be, it would be an overreach to say that this person fits a specific profile. So each case is a little different. We have to investigate it on its own merits with our partners. And so, we're still learning more about the shooter, as we mentioned, through the search warrant and other investigation that the Greenwood Police Department is doing. So we'll continue to take a look at that. But I wouldn't say there's any one specific profile that is capable of conducting this type of attack.
The majority of these active shooters have been white males who had some sort of trauma or some sort of mental illness. So does he not fit that?
So as I mentioned, we know that he's a white male, but we're still learning more about the shooter, and it's probably too premature to say that he fits a specific profile. And again, we do see these types of acts from people of a varying array of backgrounds, and so we don't want to get too tunnel vision focused on one particular profile.
What resources do you figure out this investigation? The FBI does have a national base. So how did you support Greenwood in trying to come to this conclusion, and how will you support them moving forward?
So up to this point, our role in the investigation has been primarily in assisting Greenwood Police and our other law enforcement partners in the collection and processing of evidence. As the chief mentioned, we have been requested to take a look at the cell phone and attempt to do a forensic exploitation of that. And we'll continue to provide any type of technical assistance that Greenwood or our other partners may need.
Since the phone was led, is there a timeline, the possibility that you're able to access it?
No, we don't have a timeline. We're working as fast as we can to try to get the phone to a point where it can be exploited. There's no guarantee that we'll be able to recover any data. We're just working as fast as we can to try to get that done.
And on the laptop, similar timeline.
Same thing. We have to. We don't have a timeline for that. We have to talk with the technical experts to see what is technically possible in this type of situation. work with the Greenwood Police Department to see what we might be able to do to exploit the data, but we're working on that as quickly as we possibly can.
Were any additional guns found in his home when you went in?
I'll defer that question to the chief. His team was responsible for that search.
No, there were none.
And you mentioned they were purchased, and just want to be clear, the guns that were used that you found at the mall, those were purchased by the suspected shooter?
Yes.
Were they modified in any way?
No, not to my knowledge.
Have you talked to the family of any of the victims yet?
Yes. All of the victims' families were notified by the coroner.
Was the backpack the only thing that triggered the bomb squad last night?
Yes. And then also at the apartment, once the SWAT team found the butane in the oven, they backed out and the bomb squad came in and cleared the apartment of explosives.
And for the ATF, you mentioned, Chief, that you would run trace of this particular gun. Had it been used before at other crime scenes, or just based on the types of tests that you all run?
Yes, so we will submit the fired cartridges to our National Integrated Ballistic Information Network to determine if it was used in a crime in the past, but that will take some time to get that back, but that's in process right now.
Chief, is there any reason to believe that the shooter knew any of these victims personally in any way?
No, we don't believe so. How many bullets? How many bullets? No body armor.
The first person that died, the shooter, the first shooter, how many?
Our suspect, I don't know at this time, but over 100. I believe he was a graduate of Greenwood High School.
Is the family of the gunman cooperating with the investigation right now?
Yes.
Do you know if the gunman planned to kill himself or had an escape plan?
No. He right now we have no motive at all.
Chief, how are you all doing going through all of this? You practiced this for years. How are you all doing?
Well, thank you for asking that. This is very traumatic for the first responders on the scene. They're professionals. I will say that, like I said, I have been involved in several of these training scenarios, and we stage them to look like the real incident. And walking in there for me last night was surreal because it looked just like every incident we've staged. So the first responders are doing well. We have a post team. They will probably meet Wednesday or Thursday of this week with all individuals, first responders, paramedics, police officers that were on the scene. It's a team of local mental health professionals and individuals in law enforcement that are trained to specifically deal with traumatic events that first responders experience. So they will be getting that assistance this week.
Just to be clear, you said the suspect fired 24 rounds?
Suspect fired 24 rounds.
Mr. Dickens fired 10?
Yes.
And what caliber were the rounds he fired?
Deputy Chief, do you know what caliber Mr. Dickens' handgun was? 9mm.
Do you know if the suspect has any sort of a social media presence?
No, I don't believe so.
When you walked into the mall, could you see these guns, or were they hidden? Like you talked about the time you spent in the bathroom.
Yeah, so rifles are able to be broke down into two pieces. We believe that he carried them in a bag. Thank you.
Can we ask one more question? Have any of the family members of the victims asked you guys to share anything on their behalf that they'd like us to share at this point?
No, but I will release, we do have a photo of our suspect. I will release that to you after this press conference.
Could you spell his first name again, please? I didn't get it.
Which one?
Mr. Dickens, Elijah.
It is spelled Elisjsha.
Spell last name, please.
Dicken.
Did the bystander?
Thank you.
Okay.
This concludes our press conference for now. I'm sure you'll be getting more information as it's known to our departments. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to talk about this a little bit. First off, though, I want to say, if you guys that are here, I know all you good people that are here, if you haven't checked out True Crime Web, there's a husband and wife. He's a retired police officer. He was on SWAT. He was a counter sniper. I've been checking out some of his videos. They're good human beings. They have a great channel, and it's good to go support the other good people in this community. And definitely their channel is growing. He's covering the Delphi murders. He's also looking into where there's hot spots in the state of Iowa as well. I don't know where they are from. I grew up in Iowa, so I find it very interesting that he is covering some of the hot spots in Iowa. And he's working on a database to help connect some crimes together in some states and putting useful information in there. And I look forward to watching some more of his content and getting to know them a little bit better and working with them. Oh, they're from Georgia. Perfect. Nice. I really enjoy their show. So now we'll get back to this here. If you guys please sub up to them, go watch their videos and give them some thumbs up and get the algorithm boosting for them. They're on to some good things over there. And I think they can be a very good aspect as far as law enforcement goes with his experience, so that when we're speaking like this law enforcement here in Greenwood and the IMPD have done a spectacular job with this whole investigation, the better that they come out and tell the public the information with facts and information. That's what we like. When they sit back and are silent because the investigation is still going on, we all get frustrated and the speculation runs wild. The mayor of Greenwood did a heck of a job here in this press conference as well. Looks like they thoroughly knew to call the FBI, the ATF immediately to help get those resources and get plans into motion. So hats off to these police departments and the surrounding police departments here in this mall shooting. And it looks like without Elisjsha, the hero here, the Good Samaritan, that there would have been a lot more casualties, because I have a feeling that the guy was going in for something else that was there in the bathroom or was coming back out. I don't know, but without that Good Samaritan, and we need to keep him in our prayers too, because even defending and shooting somebody is a lot for somebody to process, especially just a regular citizen, and doing good things. Yes, Volstorm, this was one of the factual press conference, most factual I've seen as well. This whole process, I played from the beginning of their stuff. They don't, so the IMPD in Greenwood, when they did their press conferences early on as well, they didn't do any speculating. If they didn't know the answer, they told them they didn't have the information right now, and that's what we like to hear. Definitely are being very thorough about this. There is a plethora of information on this one. The news media actually grabbed a lot of this information and content and has taken it to, has put it out there for the public. I'm going to go into some more stuff. So we do know here that, hold on here one second. We do know that there is, I'm going to give you one of the more updated things, and then I'm going to go back to the young Samaritan that pretty much saved a whole bunch of lives. So this was updated, published 6:46 p.m. on July 17, 2022. Updated 7:32 a July 19th, which is today. So I'm going to play this. It's going to go over some perspectives and some different things that were going on and speak some different stuff. I will grab some other information, but I think that this one pretty much sums up what was going on and what was happening. If only the Good Samaritan had been outside Uvalde, Texas. Yeah, I know. I saw some of your stuff on the Uvalde, Texas stuff too, as well. And definitely, that is definite good answer there. All right, let me share my screen again here. I'm going to play this one here. Hopefully the sound is good. I'm going to mute out while this loads.
Thanks for inviting us in. We've got breaking new details for you tonight in that mass shooting at Greenwood Park Mall that killed 3 innocent people and sent 2 others to the hospital. In the last hour, we talked with the family of a 12-year-old who was wounded in that shooting, and we just tracked down our first statement from the bystander who killed the suspect. Tonight, we're also digging into the latest timeline and the 911 calls from the attack that lasted only a few minutes. We're going to get to all of that for you in a moment. We want to start tonight with our comprehensive team coverage with Lauren Kostick, who just heard from one of the families of the victims. Lauren.
So they're going to break it down here for us. If you've been here for a while listening, you don't want to miss this. This is very good information that they're putting out here. So I watched this one earlier.
Lauren.
Yes, Scott, within the last few hours, we were able to talk to the sister and mom of one of the victims who had a piece of a bullet lodged in her back. You know, our Carlos Diaz was able to go over there tonight, and thankfully she is home and she is doing okay. And the mom tells us that 3 of her daughters were at the mall with their grandmother when they heard a man start shooting. 2 of the girls, 14-year-old Audrey and 12-year-old Bella, were separated as they ran away. And that's when Bella felt a stab in her back. But the family didn't find out that it was part of a bullet till she got home.
No, mom, don't touch me. Don't touch me. My back hurts. I'm like, what? And so I'm like, did somebody hit you or something? And no, I don't know. And as I went to go look, I put her shirt back a little ways and it was kind of stuck. And that's when I realized there was an actual piece of a bullet sticking out of her back, and it was right over her spine area, which just put me into sheer terror and panic.
You know, that'll always be in my mind. I'll never forget that moment and the shots. I won't forget that. But I'm living, you know? So it's just crazy how this world is.
And tonight, we're also learning more about the other victims, including Victor Gomez, a 30-year-old husband and father. Family tells us he was waiting for his wife outside the restroom when the gunman walked out of the men's room and began shooting. Seconds later, the shooter then shot Pedro Pineda and his wife, Rosa, who were in the food court having dinner together. And those lives were remembered at a vigil just earlier tonight at Resurrection Lutheran, a church just a few miles up the road. They lit candles and prayed. The pastor telling us he wanted to bring the community together tonight to heal after such a tragic event. And we also spoke at the vigil with Indiana Latino Democratic Caucus, and they tell me this is extremely personal for them because all the victims are Latino, and in making them question whether this was a targeted event, which is something that is now up to police to determine. Felicia.
So I want to stop right there just for 1 second. I'm going to do this after each one of them, Zeke. So rest in peace to the people that were killed in this situation. And prayers to the victims' families. Prayers to all of the people that were in that mall. It's something they're going to have to live with after this tragic event that one person did. Very interesting that the young 12-year-old made it all the way home, and her mom figured out that she had a bullet lodged in her, and good thing she is safe and everything worked out for them. we'll continue on here with some more information.
Lauren, thank you so much.
Lauren, thank you so much. Tonight, we're seeing our first statement from the man who stepped in to shoot and kill the suspect. Lawyers for Eli Dicken say he saved countless lives and say the attack could have been much worse. But out of respect for the investigation, Eli will not be making any substantive comments on the shooting until after the investigation wraps up. Police say the 22-year-old used the pistol he was carrying under Indiana's new permitless carry law and fired 10 rounds at the suspect from about 40 yards away. Tonight, we're hearing from the grandmother of Eli's girlfriend, who was with him when the shooting happened and saw the gunman leave the bathroom.
I'm glad they're both okay, and I'm glad he did what he did, but we need prayers for him. He needs prayers because that's all. To take somebody's life is hard.
Now, the shooting last night started and ended so quickly, with police estimating the attack only lasted a couple of minutes. Our Emily Longnecker spent all evening breaking down the timeline. And Emily, tonight we do know the shooter was in that mall for an hour before the attack, right?
That's right, Scott. You know,
All right, before we move on, oh, sorry, there was echoing the whole time. Sorry, Joel. Sorry, there was echoing because I forgot to mute out. But we want to remember it's a 22-year-old that took care of the actual shooter. So it's going to be he's going to have to live with this the rest of his life as well. So we need to remember that. So hopefully hopefully when the investigation wraps up that he actually gets some help and maybe some counseling and stuff to help him, because he is also a victim as well. So we'll continue on. I'm going to mute out this time.
At this point, the police cars, the police tape, they're long gone from the Greenwood Park Mall. But this investigation is far from over. Police still don't have a motive yet, but what they do have is a firm timeline based on graphic surveillance video from inside.
Sunday, 4:54 p.m. Surveillance video shows the suspect entering the mall food court at entrance 4.
He walks directly to the food court restroom.
Police say he spends the next hour and 2 minutes there.
We believe, and we don't want to speculate, but we believe he was getting ready.
When he comes out at 5:56, he starts shooting. 30-year-old Victor Gomez is his first victim. Shoppers and workers inside the mall immediately call 911.
The mall, person shot.
The first report from a dispatcher comes seconds after the shooting started.
They're advising there's a male shooter. He's possibly in the food court at this time, more than a dozen people.
At the same time, an officer reports people running out into the mall parking lot.
Engine 92, medic 94, battalion 9.
An ambulance and medics are dispatched within 35 seconds, with more 911 calls continuing to come in. The suspect's shooting spree is still underway.
He then points his rifle into the food court where Pedro and Rosa Pineda were eating dinner and shot both Rosa and Pedro.
Then police say the gunman fired several more rounds into the food court, hitting a 22-year-old woman in the leg. A 12-year-old who was running towards door 4 is also hit in the back by a bullet fragment that ricochets off a wall. At this point, it's only been a minute since the gunman emerged from the bathroom. 5:57, an armed citizen in the food court, Elisjsha Dicken, pulls out a handgun and shoots the suspect, firing 10 rounds.
The suspect attempted to retreat back into the restroom and fell to the ground after being shot.
At 5:58, 2 minutes after the first 911 call, dispatchers give more information about how many victims EMS crews may be finding inside.
So far, possibly 3. Our phone lines are still all lit up.
By 6:06 p.m.
Let's go ahead and declare this a mass casualty.
Emergency crews still don't know if the shooter is dead. But 12 minutes after the shooting starts, SWAT escorts paramedics inside to treat victims who are still alive.
And as we stand here in shock,
not even 24 hours later, the mayor of Greenwood is talking about being part of a group he never wanted to be a part of.
I grieve for these senseless killings, and I ache for the scars that are left behind on the victims and on our community.
We still don't have a motive in this shooting, Emily.
Yeah, Scott, the investigation is just a little over 24 hours in, but state and federal investigators are combing over every lead, trying to figure out why this happened.
All right, Emily, thanks so much. Rachel Krause joins us live from the...
All right, so there we had a timeline breakdown. Arctic, the interesting thing is, so while I'm glad the Good Samaritan was there, I'm not a fan of the permitless carrying. I think if you want to open carry, there should be a permit required, just my opinion. I don't know exactly what Indiana law is or what the training is behind or how it works. But I do know that in that mall, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because the mall, it's against mall's policy by the people that own it, which is Simon's something, but it's against their policy to open carry in their malls. So did the guy was there no signs inside the mall outside the outside posted or anything that guns weren't allowed inside? I don't know how that works. Trevor, great question. I don't know if state law greater than store law, because then you'd have federal law is greater than state law, right? So I don't know how that works. I just know that when I go over here, so I live off the Indiana, or I live in Illinois, but right next to the state line of Indiana. Like I can literally walk out my door, walk for 2 minutes, and be in Indiana. So it's closer for me to go to town because I live out in the country. It's closer for me to go to town to Indiana than it is to go to Illinois. And when I do go there, there is to the gas station. At the gas station, there is whoever's working has open carry. He has a gun on him right there. There was something that went on down at the town square in one of the towns here, some type of a parade. They had army pants on and just regular citizens, army pants on with big high-powered rifles, semi-automatics around their neck while a parade was going on as well. The open carry is a big, huge thing over here, and it is something you don't want to mess around with as well. It was a rule, not a law, and Eli was concealed carry, not open. Oh, concealed carry. There you go. I didn't catch that because I hadn't read. I was preparing for this, and I hadn't read into everything that Eli had yet. I was going to save that for another day. Either way, Joel, the no permit carry is just, well, the concealed to carry, you had to have so many training hours though to have the concealed to carry. I would assume that's the same as Illinois. In Illinois, you have to have so many hours to conceal to carry. But there is a lot of people that open carry in Indiana. All right, I'm going to continue on with this. It would be to Simon Properties to enforce it. Doubt they will in this case. I doubt they will either. And thank you. I couldn't think of the last name. Simon Properties owns the malls here in Illinois too, but I couldn't think of the name. One of them, about 30 miles from me, got shut down, but they have a whole bunch of them. Constitutional carry weeks before the shooting. There we go. That explains a lot. And I thought I read that someplace. I don't know enough about that yet in order to speak on it. They own a mall there in Tennessee too. Talk about bad publicity for the mall if they do raise a fuss. Definitely.
Newsroom tonight at 11. She spent the last few hours taking a look into the suspect's past for answers. Rachel?
Scott, we know that the suspect had a juvenile record with a history of school fights and running away, but police say he did not have an adult criminal history and no reported history of mental illness. Now, we know he spent time at the shooting range not far from the Polo Run apartments where he lived alone. We went to that shooting range earlier today asking for records of the suspect's time there, but we were denied. Today we did find out from the suspect's family that he was recently evicted, and tonight we are working to confirm that information. But we do know for a fact he recently resigned from a warehouse job. As far as the suspect's online history, police are still combing through that. We know that his cell phone was dumped in the mall's bathroom toilet, and investigators are working to dry that out and get information from the phone. Searching his apartment after the shooting, police say they found something strange.
When the SWAT team went in to clear it, the oven was on high temperature and had a laptop within the oven and a can of butane.
Police say they are not sure if the intent was to cause a fire or just damage the laptop, but they are sending the laptop off to Quantico to be analyzed. The can of butane in the oven unattended, forcing neighbors to evacuate for a couple of hours.
We came outside, see nothing but lights and everything. So they told us to get up, after that, about 15, 20 minutes, I went to your grandson and we just struck out.
In all honesty, I thought that, they were probably looking for the shooter. It's not the first time that shots have been fired through here.
Neighbor we spoke with says he has seen the suspected shooter in the apartment complex in passing before, saying at the time he didn't notice anything inherently odd or bad about him. Scott?
All right, Rachel, thanks so much. And our coverage of this Greenwood Park Mall shooting.
All right, there you go. So, meaning his prior juvenile or going to a range or quitting a job is none of that is illegal or suspicious. I agree, Volstorm. Interesting that what a great concept. I didn't know enough on it to speak on it. Okay, I hooked gold. Okay, I hooked golden wisdom. Yeah. So what I do when I don't know something, I'm going to tell you I don't know what the answer is without researching or knowing how to answer the question. I'm not just going to make up something to go ahead and please an audience, because that's not how we do things around here. Which is the reason why I'm telling you this, because you're getting to know me. It was brought to attention that wasn't the first time that they heard gunshots around their area there by one of the tenants there, the complex that he lived at. I do know that one of our people that is here listening was in the mall with her son at the time of the shooting. They're on the opposite end of the mall and did exit safely, and thankful for Elisjsha being there. I do want to go and grab, I have a couple more articles that I do want to grab here that speak about the shooter that speak about the Good Samaritan. So I do want to bring that up, and give me 1 second here, and I'll bring up that saving countless lives, armed bystander praised for intervening in the Greenwood Mall shooting. Hold on here 1 second. We'll bring up this picture here so you can see him here. All right. This is Eli, is what they like to call him. The 22-year-old hero is how I have him here. This is Jonathan Saparman, the shooter. He is the one that went into the bathroom here and shot the people. And he is the bystander hero in this situation. As I bring up the other information here, I just wanted to show you so you understood what my thumbnail was here. And then we're going to speak a little bit about the young man and where he learned how to shoot from. Just give me 1 second here. So hopefully this is a lesson to other people that try to do this into malls and into mass shootings. At some point, they need to understand that there's other people that don't agree with what they're doing, and it could end very quickly for them. But the other part of it is a lot of times that they don't that is their end game, and everything is that they don't see it past that day. So sadly, that in this world that we're in is a lot of times people that go and do these types of things already aren't looking into the next day. They have no chance of looking into it because they don't expect to get out of the current day that they were in. Please read. Hold on here 1 second. I had it pulled up, but my thing went off here. Kids are thinking about long before they actually do it. I agree with you there. Hello, Empress Nero. Thanks for coming in. Mischecking convictions. Welcome back. I know that you went to a rally. If you want to come up, I dropped a link for you. If you'd like to come up for a little while. I know you're still trying to get resituated back at home after being gone for so long. My computer's running slow right now for some reason.
We turn now to the other mass shooting, the new one.
Hold on 1 second. That wasn't all right. Checking. I'm going to add you.
Hello. Hello. I've missed so much.
Oh, I've got my. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There, I can hear you now.
Yep. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. I have missed so much, but I just really catching up on this. I'm very thankful for that young man. Could have really turned out to be something that we have seen too much of, far too much of the shooting.
Yeah, and there's so much information out there. Like I had up the article where it was talking about the young man and his grandfather teaching him how to shoot. And then there's new updates every 2 seconds on this thing. And it just goes to the wayside. I mean, I was looking through 4 pages worth of videos from this last couple days of just this particular incident. Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of information. That's good, though. It's good that, it's very sad that there are still a lot of shootings going on. That's obvious to all of us. But, it's good that people are starting to take action, and the police are acting faster, and citizens are able to, they're a little bit more aware of what's going on. I think because of the past shootings, people have learned. So that's good. And hey, my heart goes out to that young man who took that shooter on himself. He's a young man and he took his life. That's hard. That's got to be hard. So my prayers to him, and hopefully he gets counseling and he's okay.
Yeah. The good thing, the most positive thing, the outcome of this whole thing is that young man, it was smart enough to go, or the lawyer that he has was smart enough to go grab him right away, so that media would have attacked him like crazy.
Oh yeah.
So whoever stepped in and intervened, getting him a lawyer, or the lawyer was actually there on site, was a very, very good thing. Or if the police or whoever told them, hey, you need to get a lawyer to help you, or however that worked, was the best situation for the young man ever.
Oh yeah. Because if you know how social media can be, and you know how people can be, and he has counseling right away, legal counseling, which I'm sure he's going to need, because he did take a life, so I don't know how they work that. I'm anxious to find out what they're going to do with that. I hope the man doesn't, he doesn't get in any trouble. I don't hope that, you know what I mean? Don't try to switch something on him. I don't know how it works. But
I don't. I mean, the police aren't looking to investigate him. They stated that in their. They call him a good Samaritan right from the beginning. That's so good. When they did the first thing, the very first part of their interviews, which you missed at the beginning of my thing. So there was a sequence of police briefings. IMPD was the first one to do like a little tiny briefing. And then they got Greenwood Police Department, and they did it on IMPD's Facebook page. And then he came out and said right away that there was a good Samaritan that pretty much saved a whole bunch of lives. So
I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely was good that they did that right away.
I think it's just great that somebody took the initiative. A lot of people just stand by, because they really are unsure what their rights are as, a gun carrier in a situation that way. But I'm sure that we'll learn a lot from this for going on to the future. This man has probably, paved a way for some laws to be clearer for us.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of what ifs in this thing, and I don't want to get into them today. But the young man did a good job, and
he's a hero in my book.
I'm glad he was able to do what he was able to do before the guy got back into the bathroom. So because that could have.
He's a hero in my book.
I don't know what that comment was. I was trying to read it. I'm still trying to find this article here, but I can't find it.
Well, you keep looking. I'll keep chatting. I'm pretty good at filling in space. But But really, I mean, I honestly, my hat goes off to him. I hope the emotional state of taking somebody's life, he can work through that, because I'm sure that's got to be hard. I don't myself can't see taking a life of any kind, hunting or not. That's just who I am. But if I was a person who carried a gun and seen that and I could do something, I'm sure I probably would have too. You just gotta, he saved a lot of lives. I'm sure he did, because gosh only knows what ammunition he had. I don't know if any of that has even been released, what that young man had, what his motives were. I don't know any of that. I just know that somebody stepped up and probably saved a lot of lives. And in my eyes, that's good. And the shooter was 20 years old. What's the matter?
Yeah.
I don't know. Getting young. And there's far too many of these. I mean, can we even count how many there's been since Texas? I mean, it's amazing to me, mind-boggling how many people are going out there and trying to shoot innocent people for what? I don't get it. Are they angry at the world? Seek some counseling. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a fast acting child. I mean, he's a kid. The guy that took up from him was a kid.
Did you see? Yeah, they were both the kids. That's the whole thing. And did you hear that they saw on video surveillance that he was waving innocent people behind him to get out of the area?
Wow.
And yeah.
Wow, that's great. I mean, fast acting for a young man to act that fast and to take it on. It's just, I can just say bravo. Bravo to you. Thank you for using your American right to carry a gun and save some lives.
Oh, here it is. This will not get near as much press. These kinds of stories will reduce the social media encouragement for copycats.
I tend to agree.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of copycats. Look at them all. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, and it's getting more and more and more, but our population is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So as your population gets bigger and bigger and bigger, then you're going to have more of these types of situations. And I mean, how do you combat it? I mean,
yeah. I don't know. I'm surprised living in Minnesota with the big mall we have that we haven't had that. I'm not wishing it, believe that. But if, more people that carry guns will be alert, be able to end something like this in the beginning, because now there's only been a few. I mean, every life matters. And I'm sorry for those that lost their lives and everybody who was there and was able to make it. I mean, my heart goes out to you. But there could have been mass people dying if that guy wouldn't have taken action, in my eyes. Yep, I agree with you, Savannah. It is a good thing he had his gun on him. It's a good thing he got some legal counsel right away too, because like Level said, media could tear you apart in a minute. I bet that guy it wasn't even a thought for him. It probably just a quick reaction, and a good reaction. He was trained, obviously. He was trained in using his gun.
Well, I found an article. There was a little statement that was put into an article, and I can't find the article now. But if I find the article, I'll post it on my community tab. But it said that his grandfather taught him how to shoot.
Wow.
The gun, and I'm sure that it was probably something that they did for fun with themselves, and he probably taught them how to shoot, and which is incredible. So
yeah,
I did find an article here though. I don't know how credible this is. Well, it's by Newsweek, so I'm gonna read a little bit of this. I'll share my screen so you guys can Buffalo. Lives were saved due to quick thinking, and girlfriend even helped a victim that was shot. Good kids.
Yeah. Really. That's another dynamic for me, is that it was both shooters. The one who stopped the crazy one, they're both 20 years old, 21, something like that.
One was 20. One was 20. The other one was 22.
Yeah, see, they're very young and very totally different mindsets. You know, one to kill and one to save. So yes, she is a hero to his girlfriend. Yeah, everybody who acted in the rights of others to save lives are heroes to me. And bravo. I agree. Maybe he will get a medal. He should. He probably saved a lot of lives. But does anybody have any idea what he was carrying as far as ammunition? Have they released that?
It says it here in this article. I'm going to read it.
Okay.
It says that, so this is an article published just a little bit ago. It says that the man who shot down the gunman who killed 3 people in a shopping mall near Indianapolis on Sunday has been identified as Elisjsha Dicken, a 22-year-old from Seymour, Indiana. The heroic Good Samaritan of Greenwood Mall shooting, as his lawyer has dubbed him, is considered responsible for stopping the mass shooter who was armed with 2 rifles, a handgun, and more than 100 rounds of bullets, according to police. The gunman had fired 24 rounds of ammunition, according to Greenwood police, before Dicken, who was at the mall with his girlfriend, drew his pistol out and shot him dead. The gunman was killed about 2 minutes into the assault. This is the old picture of him, which I didn't know. He's grown up a lot since that picture. I will say his actions were nothing short of heroic. He engaged the gunman from quite a distance with a handgun, Greenwood Police Chief James Eisen said. He was very tactical sound as he moved to close in on the suspect. He was also monitoring for people to exit behind him. He has no police training and no military background. Dicken is now being represented by lawyer Guy Relford, who has released a statement saying he's proud to serve as attorney and spokesperson to a true American hero who saved countless lives during a horrific event that could have been so much worse if not Eli's courage, preparedness, and willingness to protect others. Dicken has not been heard from directly, as the Greenwood Police Department is currently engaged in an ongoing criminal investigation into Greenwood Park Mall shooting. Because we want to respect the ongoing criminal investigation by Greenwood Police Department and take time to honor the 3 innocent lives lost, we won't be making any substantive comments on Sunday's events until after the authorities' investigation is closed. Dicken's lawyer said, asking media and public to respect the privacy of the 22-year-old and his family. Not much is known publicly about him, about Dicken yet, beside the fact that he was legally, though permitless, carrying a 9mm Glock gun. In Indiana, carrying a gun no longer requires a permit as of July 1st, as of the constitutional carry bill. But he was technically not allowed to bring a gun to the mall. Greenwood Park Mall, where the shooting happened, is a weapon-free location according to its code of conduct. But in the circumstance of Sunday's shooting, the mall issued a statement expressing gratitude towards Dicken's intervention. We grieve for the victims of yesterday's horrific tragedy of Greenwood Park Mall. Violence has no place in this or any other community. We are grateful for the strong response of the first responders, including the heroic actions of the Good Samaritan who stopped the suspect, the statement said. After Sunday's shooting, Dicken had been called an armored hero, a good Samaritan, and a good guy with a gun by the Gun Lobby National Rifle Association on Twitter, who took advantage of the situation to make a point on gun ownership. From his Facebook profile, it appears Dicken lives in Columbus, Indiana, that he has attended CSA New Tech High School in the same city, which he left in 2018. He has given permission to police to release his name, age, hometown, but has so far declined to speak publicly about the shooting. Greenwood's mayor, they go into the victims here, and well,
rest in peace.
Hopefully, yeah. I don't know what Carrie. Oh, CC, the Samaritan used a 9mm handgun. That was Volstorm. There was a smaller part of the CCW permit holders who are of sound mind, thus capable to be genuine service. Yeah.
I think, excellent for him to have no military or police background, be his age, learn from his grandfather, and then have enough, let's say, steadiness in his nerves to do as he did, because you do. I mean, come on, he's trying to hone up on a guy who's shooting everywhere, trying to save some lives by telling people to go behind him. Look, quick thinking in a very, quick, fast thinking, smart actions for somebody under pressure at that age. Bravo to him. That's all I can say.
Yeah, he did a heck of a job, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always
imagine the pressure.
Well, there's always going to be what ifs. What if the guy went into the bathroom? What if? Well, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the same result could have happened at the end anyways. The guy could have still been a hero.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Simon Properties will rethink their carry, or maybe they'll put more officers in their stores. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it seems to be a problem in malls these days. And I don't know. Is it as much as I mean, to be honest, is it as much to put metal detectors into malls?
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is.
I hear you. What we want to do is prevent this, right? So what's the next prevention step that we take, right? Like you said, metal detectors. How can that be hard to do at every door? Okay. Now, if they're saying cost, well, what are the cost of lives? Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, the states themselves need to buck up and spit out some cash for prevention. Things like this, things like metal detectors in schools, things like a few more, armed guards at doors in schools. I don't care what you have to do at school for children to feel safe. If it's going to look like a military school, well, then fine, let it be. At least we know our children are safe. And as far as malls and places of people going out to enjoy their lives, I think it's worth the cost for some small areas, because I don't believe in taking away people's gun rights. That I don't believe in. Might not want to carry one, but that's me. Okay. But I have no reason for people of sound mind. If they want to carry a gun, it's their right. Let them do so. Look what happened. A good Samaritan carrying a gun, saved many lives as far as I'm concerned. We do not know what that guy would have been capable of doing if that kid wouldn't have been calm, had his head together, and used the gun the way it was supposed to be used for protection, So as far as
he obviously
put something in place.
Well, he obviously had good training.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see his concealed to carry. It looks like he had a concealed to carry license, I believe.
Yeah. my
it'd be interesting to see his training. That's what I say to anybody that owns a gun is definitely go through some type of a gun training program, but also a gun safety program as well. So you know how to care for a gun, you know how to handle a gun. Guns can be very dangerous to yourself as well.
Yeah.
I saw just the other day a guy ended up shooting himself in the leg because he didn't know how to properly handle a gun. And that's the most important thing for anybody is I'm not against having guns. I don't think you should have 500,000 guns, but that's your right as an American to have as many guns, right to bear arms. But the thing is if you're going to have them, at least do some type of a training or some type of a practice. Like go to an actual shooting range. There's people there that'll help train you how to shoot the gun and how to do gun safety, and do it for good.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I'm not against people carrying guns. I think they need to be trained. Now, my brother and sister-in-law, they go through training. They have permits concealed to carry, and my brother carries all the time. Okay. But he also goes and practices and you know, make sure he knows how to handle his gun. So you have to have some responsibility towards it. I mean, it's not like handing a 2-year-old, here's a gun, go play. You know, what I mean, you should have to have some kind of training and know how to use it, work it, when's the proper time to, you know, whatever. I do believe you really need to have training if you're going to do it. I'm 100% for that. You know, I don't think anybody should just carry a gun. But if Grandpa taught him and he went to class and got his concealed carry permit, you know, because that's, you have to have training to get that. At least here in Minnesota, you do. You know, so I would imagine you do anywhere else. But whoever taught him, it's the, see, what I'm saying is the mental state of shooting somebody like that. You know, when that's going on, it's chaos. Okay. So for him to be able to stay sturdy enough in his own nerve and do that, bravo. Oh my gosh. I have so much respect for that. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if a lot of people could do that. You always say you could, but you just never know.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot about him. And
yes. He'll make a good cop if he ever wants to do that. You know,
well, he might be hired tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He might be able to, you know, be a trainer for some people, for young kids. Who knows? He's a hero. He is a hero. I hope that mentally he is able to handle that, being a hero and really being that he took a life. I don't imagine what that's like. You know what I mean? Even if it's for good, I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, see, so Blaine says that they have to complete hunter safety course before you can apply for concealed to carry where she lives. And when I lived in Iowa, when I was a little kid, I wanted to go hunting, right? Because all my friends were hunting and we'd go hunting. So hunter safety course was with the DNR. And they actually, like, before you could actually own a gun as a kid, like, I don't know, I think I was 14, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
But it taught you how to clean the gun, how to carry the gun, how to walk with the gun, how to, even if the gun's not loaded, how not to never point a gun at somebody. It taught you all those good things at a young age. And then it just rapidly, like, there was more hunting and other courses, but they'd always have like shooting lessons and other things to, and you actually shot there so that they knew that you're responsible. But I saw Arctic say that he has guns, but he keeps them locked away, not when in use. And I agree. There's definitely a problem with
leaving guns around for young kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
At home, you know, they get sloppy, they get comfortable and they get sloppy with it. And that happens in driving. Look at how many people drove like 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock when they first started driving. And then, you know, 6 months later, they're one-handed and leaning to the right and, you know, blaring their music. Sloppy things happen because you become comfortable. Right. So I think it's ongoing training is always because education is the key to everything, right? And knowing about it is prevention from accidents. So I agree. And they do have that here too, Level. They got hunting courses, and you have to go through them when you're younger to get a long gun to shoot, for hunting. And there's a lot of that. It's available everywhere, I'm sure. In Minnesota, we have a lot of shooting ranges where you can, even outdoor. They even have outdoor ones here in Lake Elmo where they teach the kids. And I don't know what they're using. I don't think they're really using bullets, that'll kill. But I think that they're aiming at targets and whatnot, BBs. I don't know. I have no idea. I never went to it. But I do know that they offer them. I do know that more and more people in my state and my friends definitely have went to courses to carry guns, and they carry guns. I'm scared of guns myself. I'm afraid of them. But, that just kind of goes from a bad hunting accident. I almost got killed. So, yeah. I'm all for the training. All for the training.
Well,
I had a
here in
bullet
Illinois,
squeeze by my head.
the concealed to carry permit is a state thing, and you definitely have to go through a course to get it. So many hours of class, and then so many shooting hours and stuff. But the worst part about it is, like, the gun laws, like, different villages have different laws here. So when I say villages, I mean different little cities have different laws. Like, certain types of guns aren't allowed in certain types of villages, and the transportation of them. So you could have a handgun in your car, but obviously it can't be loaded or anything. But once you go, if it's a certain gun, and once you go from one town to the next, it might be illegal in that other town, and you could get pulled over for it and get charged by that town for it. And which is, it just makes everything more confusing. But there's a lot
it does, because, different states, traveling different state to state, they might not even have, concealed to carry in a state. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what states have it. I'm not up on gun laws. So, because it's not something that I've really ever been interested in. But believe me, with all these shootings going on, it is something I'm very interested in learning more about, a quick study, because I'm, me, it's psychologically, I want to know why was this 22-year-old willing to kill, and the other one willing to save lives? What's going on in that? You know what I mean? That's how I think about it. And what, who's getting guns illegally and using them like this, and who's got, legal guns and they're using them for good, or just for their own protection. I mean, because the world has gotten so, and let's just say the world's always been bad, but there's a lot more people. We have internet, so we hear it a lot faster, and which makes us all a lot more leery. So I do believe a lot more people are carrying guns because of these mass shootings, and just for protection, because the world is an evil place. So I want to see it be for the good. I don't want, everybody says, well, let's take the guns. We'll take it. Okay. I don't agree with that. I don't. I mean, you can stop. There are signs, right? These people all have had signs of, mental illness, threatening on Facebook, or you see something, right? I don't know about this shooter, but in the past, most of the shooters have been gave off warning signs.
Yeah. Well, even if you take the guns away from regular citizens, it's not going to help anything, because they get here illegally anyways.
They're illegal. They're illegal gotten guns. Exactly. And, but these AR-15s or whatever goes through, vests and things like that. What good are them, really? Them are war weapons. I mean, maybe they're cool to have, but it's a war weapon. It's for mass killing. It's not something you're going to go blow a deer apart with. You know what I mean? I don't understand that. But then again, then you're going on people's rights to carry a gun. So it's a fine line, between wanting it and controlling it in some way. I don't know what to say. I do really, really I'm amazed at this young man's actions and how calm he could stay and the lives that he saved. And bravo to him. I hope the city gives him a key or a medal or, something. And I hope that he takes his experience and maybe helps other people learn how to be in a situation that way, like that. That could be so beneficial for a lot of us.
Well, he'd be a very good one to like speak to young kids that want to learn how to use a gun and stuff, and hopefully they use it for good. So we shall see what happens with him.
It to be continued.
I know. Yeah,
that's a whole
a whole different discussion to be had over on the experts, I think.
Yeah, we'll go over there and talk about it. How's that? I can listen to Volstorm's voice.
I know, right?
But I'm going to jump off. I just wanted to jump off and I'll let you finish your show. I always kind of take over a little bit, but that's
no, you're good. I wanted to speak to you anyways. I haven't seen you in a while, and I have not seen the rally stuff, and I'm going to be watching it. And I want to learn more about what you were doing, but we'll do that on another.
You can, give me a call.
Yeah, definitely. And I do want to say, True Crime Web, I did check out his stuff. They're doing good things, and welcoming them into our circle here. So
heck yes, welcome to the real crime community. They can have that true crime crap. We are real crime, facts.
Yeah.
And less speculation. Yeah, we speculate, but we say, just like we have been, it's the unknown. It could have been,
It could have been.
Nothing. Yeah, it could have been. What if? Exactly. A lot of what ifs, but it's factual here. So welcome. I look forward to seeing stuff and, we like good intent, and that's what we're all about here. So we might be small, but we're growing tall. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon, Level. Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you. All right. There is still new stuff coming up in this open investigation. I don't think they closed the investigation yet. It'll go on for some time. Once it does, I will probably come back with, hopefully Eli will come out with some type of a statement at some point when it is closed and does good for some other young individuals in this country. I did say at the beginning, Greenwood used to be I did say I was going to cover a couple missing people. I do want to cover some of these missing people right now, and dear to my heart is a young little man out of Idaho. I'm going to go play a video that I did with him because I am trying to incorporate him, and then I'm going to go over 4 other missing people while this live is going here. Give me 1 second to pull up my YouTube here real quick. Hold on here. Get to my account. And this is Michael Joseph Vaughn that went missing out of Idaho. He went missing on July 27th, 2021. And Brandy, if you're listening, this one's for you. And I do know that there is a lot of channels that do Monkey Mondays as well. I just want to find my little video here for this young man. My video is going to say that he's a 5-year-old. He is currently a 6-year-old because he did just have a birthday. And I'm going to play this. I'm going to mute out. I'm going to play this here. And then I'll show some posters of some other missing kids or some other missing people. Hi, I need your help. I'm missing. My name is Michael Joseph Vaughn. My family and friends call me Monkey. I went missing from Fruitland, Idaho on July 27th, 2021. I'm a 5-year-old little boy with blonde hair, blue eyes. When I went missing, I was 3'7" tall and approximately 50 pounds. If you see me, call Fruitland Police Department at 208-642-6006. All right, there's little Monkey. Hopefully he comes home soon. I know that there's active investigation on it. They have stated that there is persons of interest in the case. They're keeping the integrity close to the vest on this one. And it has been an ongoing investigation for some time now. And they, as new leads come in, they do check them out. Fruitland PD has been working very hard on that one. I do want to go to, hold on here one second. I'm going to close my screen just for a second here. I'm going to bring up a couple of the missing people that I do have on my reel here, that things aren't adding up in what is going on. And hold on here one second. All right, I do want to bring up this young lady here. So I've been following along in her. This is Kaylee Jones. She's out of Georgia. Kaylee is described as a 5'8" tall, weighing 135 pounds, with brown hair, brown eyes. Her mother believes she may have a blue book bag with a horse on the front. She may be wearing black tennis shoes, Converse sneakers. According to authorities, her family recently moved to Georgia from Brooksville, Florida, where they still have family and friends. She also may be going by her birth name, Jillian Page Temple. Authorities are asking anyone with information about Kaylee's whereabouts to contact 770-830-5916 or email cshort@carrollsheriff.com. There is a reward on this one. I believe there's a $5,000 reward. Don't quote me. I might be wrong, but I believe there's a $5,000 reward with leading up to her being brought home. Some things in this one aren't adding up for me. I've seen some different interviews. I've seen some different stuff. It just doesn't make sense. Even if they run away, even if they're mad or upset, by now she would have been spotted or made a phone call or something would have came out. So definitely this is the one to keep an eye out for. I do see a couple other channels are picking this up. I know that the parents were on one other channel, maybe a couple other channels. I do know Arctic covered this one. I do know that some of the other ones that are in here as creators know all about this one and have shared the poster, and we need to continue to share this one out there. I do want to touch on this, and I don't know if there's any new updates on this one at all. I was stopped by a channel called Sluggish Sleuth. She's from Maine, where this family is from that went missing. This is a family that went missing. They went camping and haven't returned home. They were spotted on a Walmart camera. I do know that Sluggish Sleuth kind of went into details a little bit about it. They were last seen driving a 2005 Volkswagen Jetta with Maine license plate 1563VJ. According to a Facebook post by the Sanford Police, Jill Botham last contacted her family on June 28th, and they were supposed to have returned home 2 days later. We got Lydia Hansen, which is the 2-year-old, and then they're with Nicholas Hansen. If you guys see them, there was a sighting. LE posted a question on a B&E that may have been him. I'll send you a screenshot. Okay, thank you, True Crime with Sunshine. Definitely. I want to put this out there because anybody that's watching, if you guys see them, you need to call 911 or the Sanford Police at 207-324-9170. They've been missing for a while now. If there was some sightings, that's good news, but we definitely need to keep their name and images out there so if people see them, we can at least figure out what's going on with them. I want to put this one. Oh, this is not going to be in here. Hold on here 1 second. I do want to go over one more. And this was a fellow person in our community here. That X is I do want to go through David Pina found safe. Perfect. There was a girl that went missing in Tennessee again, but she was found safe too. And there is one that is still missing. I do want to, here, this is what I wanted to show. So I wanted to show these 2 young girls here. Missing, kidnapped Iris and Adeline Caddy, ages 9 and 7. They're out of the state of Missouri. There's a kidnapping case number, North Kansas City, Missouri. The North Kansas City, Missouri phone number is 816-234-5540. I know there is other things that are surrounding this this case here. Thank you, Sunshine. That are surrounding this case here, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this one and see if I can go into it a little bit more. Quincy PD out a question on who the man on the left is after some have pointed out. Cool. Interesting. So there was a sighting. It does look like him. Hopefully that was him on that one. Thank you for that, Sunshine. Let me see if I can bring that up here. Hold on here 1 second. Can I zoom in on this poster here? Zoom in on this one. Does that help? Or you want me to zoom in on what I'm about to show you? Okay. So yes, these 2 little young girls. I haven't verified. There was an article that Bling was talking about, and I haven't verified or seen the article yet, so I don't want to speak on that yet. But I probably prepared to do some type of whether it's a little short live on these 2, bring up some of the other information that's going on in this one as well. So I will be digging in on this one. Just so you know, I do want to bring up the picture that Sunshine just sent me. Definitely here. And I did add new people to my intro and outro. So if you like to watch that, there's new. Yes, Arctic. Bling was digging in on them, and she found a little bit of information. I don't know if it's any new information, but something's not right there, and we need to dig into that one a little bit more. And as I get the article of what she had uncovered, then we'll definitely pass it on to you guys. I do want to go to my Twitter real quick. Hold on here 1 second. And if you guys haven't, I know there's some new people in here. If you guys haven't gone to my Twitter page or to some of my other stuff, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, I have them in my about section. They were dropped here earlier in the thing in the live. Here is what I was talking about that was sent to me. I will share my screen here. I can't zoom in. This is as far as I can zoom in. But Quincy PD out a question on who the man on the left is after some have pointed it out. Could it be Nick Hansen? We don't know. But here is a picture of that. One more second. I will bring up the other thing that was sent to me. There we go. Here's a closer up picture of them. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Here's the link for the intro. Oh, nice. Definitely. Bling put my intro into the section. Definitely go give me the thumbs up on that. That video didn't do very well. I did it just as a premiere, and I have yet to. No, it's not true, guys. They think that this was a sighting of him, so of Nick Hansen. So they think that this is Nick Hansen over here on the left. And hold on one second. Let me go back to the other picture that I was showing here. So that was a close-up shot of this picture here. So this is Nick Hansen. That's Nick Hansen. This was the mystery man with the flashlight. So they think that this was him, but we can't confirm that. That's what they're looking for. That guy isn't Nick Hansen, looks nothing like him. This one looks nothing like this guy here, or this guy here looks nothing like this guy here. I don't know. Just something interesting that was brought up. At least people are giving shout outs to keep the name out there. I'll tell you that much. And that's a good thing. I want to do one more thing here. We'll remove this here real quick. If is true web crime still in here? Are you still listening, True Web Crime? Okay. Well, then I'll reach out to them and I'll reach out to them in an email then, because I need them to help me do something on the Michael Vaughn case. And I'll reach out to him behind the scenes. I would like his input on a couple things that are going on, and see if I can get some help from him. But I do want to bring up the Find Michael Vaughn webpage. Here is findmichaelvaughn.com. Send a tip, latest updates, City of Fruitland Police, how you can help find a monkey. There's different posters and flyers here. There's a lot of good information on this website. This website is created by Navi. Trixie, can you drop Navi's link? Navi has done wonders for this family. He's created this website. He's tying everything in. There's also a couple other people that help behind the scenes and help out in the public forefront. There will be an update coming on the 20th, or not an update, but there will be a little thing coming out on the 27th on his 1 year anniversary of the parents interview that was done with News Nation, and we shall be watching that one as well. And on that note, if there isn't any other, I did see, we'll go back here. Here's a new one that I just saw that somebody posted here. I don't know if she's been found yet. Haven't looked. Mary Anderson, and this is courtesy of, I put novelist name under post on JLR's 2 times. Yes, if you guys haven't checked out Navi, Trixie just dropped his link. Definitely go sub to him. Definitely go leave comments on his stuff. Tell him that Levi, tell him that Trixie, tell him that all of us over here, he watches my stuff sometimes. He's a very good creator, and I support him in what he's doing. I want to show this young lady here real quick. This is also done by our very own Sunshine, the poster. Definitely a good human being here. So this is the Harvard Police Department out of New Hampshire. She is missing. I found her last night. I reached out to a girl that went to school with her. Have not heard back yet. All right. Thank you, Sunshine. So this was just posted, and I'm going to share this out on my Twitter page as soon as we're done and get this one flowing out there. We'll get this one out there on our social media and stuff too. But here's an urgent missing person, Mary Anderson, endangered missing. On Sunday, July 17, 2022, at approximately 5 p.m., Harvard resident Mary Anderson, 23-year-old, was reported missing by her family. Miss Anderson was last seen in Hudson, New Hampshire on Saturday, 7/26/2022 at approximately 10:30 p.m. operating MAPC, I don't know what that means, MAPC 8DXW20 navy blue 2017 Toyota Tacoma. At this time, there has been no contact with Miss Anderson, which is uncharacteristic. Last seen July 17, 2022. If you have a vehicle, please help search the Leo Minister and Finchburg plazas. If you have a vehicle, go help search there. We are looking for a blue Subaru Crosstrek license plate 2LSES21 and a blue Tacoma 8XDW20. They have my and another home car license plate, both being CL licenses, CL2234. So there may be under that one. This is Hudson, New Hampshire, Harvard Police Department, 978-456-1212. Please call 911. Crosstrek is boyfriend's and the truck is hers. Divinity. Hello. I hope you got I watched The Expert the other night. I went in and did my mass, what do I call it? A comment marathon for you. Yeah, it was done on Sunday. Anyways, this was new information. She just posted this last night at 7:48 after she gathered the information here. So if you guys have social media or anything, or are in groups, if you're in my level-headed group, you're more than welcome to take this poster, because we'll post it in after this live. Take this poster, share this poster out there for anybody else that wants it. That's in my Discord. I will be posting it there. Comment bomb is what we call it. Comment bomb. Thank you. I will do mine today. I appreciate you so much. No problem, Divinity. I actually love going over and clearing my head and watching your stuff. You're doing great work, and don't stop. Don't let, I know that it takes a lot of work to do what you're doing with all the editing and all minimizing down the videos and stuff, but keep going, because you have a lot of supporters and followers that like to see it the way that you're doing it. and don't stop and don't change. But this young lady here, we need to get out everywhere. I will post this on all my social media stuff. I'll be doing a TikTok on this one after this live, try to spread this poster out there and get the stuff out there. I want to thank my mods. I want to thank my mods, my manager, my followers, my subscribers, my new subscribers. I can't do this without all of you. This all takes an army to do. And it's definitely appreciated. My friends that I've encountered that aren't in this industry or not in the missing people and the true crime stuff, like Divinity, Volstorm, The Expert, people like that come over here and definitely come out here and support, even though that they're in a whole nother category. They're still caring human beings, and their support is greatly appreciated, as well as I go over there and watch them as well. A blue Subaru shouldn't be hard to find. I agree. And my mods are great. I definitely respect to the people that were in chat here for always keeping it respectful. It helps my mods not have to do very much and can minimize down on the amount of mods that I have. And that helps in applying resources other places. Anything else that anybody else wants to say before we get out of here? And on that note, be kind to everybody. If you see something, say something. And most importantly, let's share these missing people's faces out there. Thank you all. Welcome to my channel. Level-headed with Levi D. Please hit the subscribe button. The like button. And set the bell notification to all. If you currently are not getting my notifications, please turn the bell setting to none. And turn back on to all. Please also share this. Let's get into it.
Don't wait up. I've been working hard every day, straight up. 5 years later, like I said, I would make it on my way up. It's all up from the nation, middle foundation, true stuff. We ain't giving up on our dreams, everything is ahead of us. Stay true to your path, it's time we start. It's all where you're at, it's where you end up, where your back's to the mat. Crib with a flat, or get up off your back. Deliver these facts, to see them react, stay intact. They all gonna snap, the motivated, distracted, escalated, attack, frustrated, yeah, we move fast. I wanna change everything. I swear I'll do anything just to get where I won't stop till I won't stop. If you ain't working, I don't understand what's happening. It's not enough time just to be imagining. You gotta take some action towards practicing. I know it's not easy, but you gotta get out there. You can't afford to have doubts that are interrupted. I just wanna look out for the crowd all screaming. I wanna change everything.